Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Karlene's Anime Corner. And today I have a special guest who's sleeping behind me. It's my cat Leopold. So if you happen to hear any little tinkling bells in the background, it's probably one of my cats running through the room or waking up. They are starting to make their presence known on this podcast. I also found a new light novel series that I started reading this week. It's called My Next Life as a Villainess. All Routes Lead to Doom. You've got to love the titles of light novels. But so far it's really good. It's about a girl who bumps her head really hard and then she realizes that she's actually a reincarnated 17-year-old Japanese teenager who is now in her favorite romance game. The only problem is she's the villain, and in every version of the game that she's played, she either dies or becomes exiled. So now she's working really hard to make sure that doesn't happen. It's really good so far, and I'm looking forward to starting Volume 2 soon. Today I am going to be discussing One Piece. And for those of you who know anything about One Piece, I'm going to quickly say that no, we are not discussing the entire series because I have not seen the entire series. I've seen a good chunk of it, but not the entire series. We're going to be talking mostly about a movie that came out a few years ago in 2009. One Piece began as a manga written and illustrated by Eiichiro Oda. It has been serialized in Shonen Jump since July of 1997, and it is still ongoing. As of right now, there are 94 volumes that have been published in English in the United States. The anime began airing on Japanese television in October of 1999, and it is currently at 951 episodes and still going. It is simulcast right now in the United States through Funimation and Crunchyroll. I've only watched the dubbed episodes of One Piece, but for a fun fact, the main character Luffy, who I'll talk about a little bit more later, is voiced by a female voice actress in both the Japanese and the English. The Japanese voice actress is Mayumi Tanaka, and the American one is Karlene Klinkenbeard. In addition to the anime series, there have been 14 theatrical films and 13 television specials. Most of the television specials are just condensed versions of the arcs where they take a 100 episode arc and condense it down to 90 minutes. They're not nearly as interesting or as much fun, but they're a good refresher if you're trying to remember something that happened like 600 episodes ago. Netflix has also announced that they're going to be coming out with a live-action One Piece. I have a few mixed emotions on that one, just because of the craziness of the animation. I have no idea how they're going to make that into live action. So now that we have an idea of just how much of the One Piece there is, what exactly is One Piece? Well, One Piece is the story of Monkey D. Luffy, who decides that he's going to go out, find the One Piece, and become king of the pirates. That is the entire story in a nutshell. Well, not quite, because then he has to get a crew, he has to defeat the gazillion enemies, he has to travel to a different seas, he has to go up into the sky, under the water, and everywhere in between, hunting for the One Piece. Monkey D. Luffy is the leader of the Straw Hat Pirates. They became called the Straw Hat Pirates because Luffy always wears a straw hat, so they took his name from his hat. Luffy is unique because as a kid he ate the gum fruit, which gives him the ability to pretty much act like rubber. His body can stretch out everywhere, he can make cannonballs bounce off of him, but he can get cut by blades, so he's not quite invincible. The next member of his crew is Rora no Zorro, a former pirate hunter who's a master swordsman that uses a three-sword style. Rora no Zorro has a very strong sense of justice just like Luffy, so they get along really well. But Zorro does have a horrible sense of direction. Nami is the ship's navigator. She has a remarkable skill with forecasting weather, and later on in the series, another character creates a weapon staff for her that allows her to control the weather in limited quantities. So she can go ahead and zap an enemy with a lightning bolt. pretty cool. I have to admit, I find the next character very annoying a lot, but that's probably partially his purpose. He is Usopp. He is the sniper slash gunner of the ship because he is great at sending out projectiles. He's also a horrific liar and constantly keeps telling tall tales about everything. I do find him kind of annoying, although it has been interesting seeing his story arc and his character change as time goes on. Sanji is the ship's cook. He has a kicking fighting style which he uses to protect his hands because they should only be used for cooking. And at one point in the series, he makes a point that the reason why he doesn't use blades to fight is because a knife should only be used on food. He will also do anything for a beautiful woman. Tony Chopper is the ship's doctor. He is a reindeer who ate a human devil fruit, which made him turn into a humanoid deer. He's normally shown as being really short and walking on 2 feet, but still having hooves and antlers and a face like a deer's. It's an interesting character design, but it's also a lot of fun. Nico Robin is a historian slash archaeologist, and she has probably one of the weirdest abilities out of the crew. She ate the flower fruit, which means she can blossom different parts of her body on different things and in multiples. So, for example, if she wants to listen in on a conversation, she can cause an ear to grow on the post next to them and listen to them. It's a little weird, but makes for some very interesting visuals. Frankie is the ship's carpenter. He's a cyborg and he can literally build anything. In the middle of one battle, he actually built a bridge because they needed to get across a certain area. He is a great character to get to know, and I love his backstory about how he became a cyborg, particularly since that was the beginning of the great train chase arc that I really enjoyed in the anime. Brook is the most recent crew member that I have met in the series. I don't know if any come after him because I'm trying to avoid as many spoilers as I can. But Brook is a skeleton with a giant afro, and he is also a sword fighter with a rapier. He ate the revive fruit, which caused his skeleton to come back to life after he had died. Now, I've spent quite a bit of time talking about the different characters on Luffy's ship, but that's because they all show up in the movie I'm going to review today, One Piece Strong World. This movie was different from the other One Piece movies that had preceded it because Eiichiro Oda actually had a part in the movie. He didn't actually write the script, but according to Anime's News Network, he actually came up with the basic storyline, and he also made drawings for the series as they progressed, so that everything was consistent with what he saw the characters as being. Because of this, his name is even on the credits of the movie, which again, the previous ones did not have that interaction with the original author. In One Piece Strong World, a pirate leader named Shiki has escaped from the government, and he is planning on destroying the entire East Blue, where about half of Luffy's crew has come from. They are hearing about the destruction of the East Blue in the newspaper, and they're about to head back to check it out and see if they can help in any way, when they meet Shiki on their path, but they do not yet realize that he is the bad guy who has been working the destruction. Shiki realizes just how amazing of a navigator Nami is with her weather predicting abilities, and so he kidnaps her and scatters Luffy's crew across a group of floating islands with giant monstrous animals everywhere. Luffy must get his crew back together, fight off a bunch of dangerous animals, protect a village from being destroyed, and then, of course, rescue Nami. Small spoiler, of course, they get Nami back. Probably one of the best characters that was introduced just for this movie is a giant bird that looks partially like a duck and also has the tail of a peacock, but he's all yellow, and he has the ability to shoot out lightning and electrocute things. This movie has all of the drama, the fight scenes, the ridiculousness, and everything else you can find in the One Piece series. So if you've ever been interested in watching One Piece, I highly recommend checking out this movie, and if anything about it at all entertains you, go ahead and give the series a try. I also recommend reading the manga. I just started it this year and I've really been enjoying it, even though I've already seen the anime. Both this movie and the manga series are available through the St. Johns County Public Library system. So go ahead and put them on hold and check them out. I highly recommend both of them. Normally, I would share a little bit of Japanese culture or some fun information about something that was in the anime. But since we've already run a lot longer than normal, I think Leopold, my cat, and I are just going to say goodbye right now. So have a lot of fun watching lots of anime.